Hello guys, happy Friday to all. So welcome to the People's Channel, Countdown to Impeachment, / Trap the Vote. Happy Friday, like I said, happy Friday again. Those of y'all who's just tuning in, this is the People's Channel where we cover the White House, the nation, and everything in between. Like I said, Countdown to Impeachment, / Trap the Vote. That's Countdown to Impeachment, / Trap the Vote. There's a lot of important news to cover this week, guys. There's Friday, and I did not want to send you guys off into the weekend without something. Okay, like I said, we're covering the White House, the nation, and everything in between. Today we're going to talk a little bit, as usual. It seems as though lately this is the usual. We're going to cover Donald Trump, the latest administration, and the latest nonsense coming out of it again, as well as Omarosa Manigault latest round of morning show or should I say her latest round of BS, for lack of a better term. Okay, so this is why these things are important. We have the Trump administration, as you guys have been hearing me talk about a lot lately. Donald Trump and his associates is currently under federal investigation. Special counsel Mueller, Robert Mueller, was appointed. Ex-FBI director was appointed by Congress to investigate the possibility of conspiracy to reflect should I say influence or affect the 2016 presidential elections. This is important. Why? Russia is a known enemy, a known hostile adversary to the United States government as it pertains to geopolitical matters, a hostile enemy. So you have a number of the Donald Trump associates during the campaign, the transition, and ultimately the presidency, who may have been partaking, aiding, and abetting known Russian operatives. You guys heard me say this before. Known Russian operatives to affect the outcome of the 2016 elections. Okay. So with all that being said, these are felonious acts. These are outright crimes. For one, to partake, aid, and abet a known hostile enemy of the United States government. This is a crime. And I'm going to give you guys the short version of it all, as a matter of moving things along. So you may have treason, aiding and abetting a known hostile enemy. You may have obstruction of justice, impeding an investigation in an effort to affect the outcome of that investigation, to help yourself. This is obstruction of justice. Donald J. Trump fired FBI director James Comey sometime back in July as an effort to alleviate the investigation of the possible attempts or possible conspiracy to affect the 2016 outcome of the 2016 elections. So he's fired Robert Mueller back in July. So here and this is obstruction of justice. So you have treason, obstruction of justice, money laundering, conspiracy. If I haven't said a conspiracy yet, conspiracy to commit said acts, campaign finance violations, and a host of other felonies that may have been committed during the campaign, the transition, and then ultimately the presidency of Donald Trump. So again, Donald Trump is under investigation. Once again, you guys hear me talk about the efforts, the energy, and the outright absurdity from Donald Trump and his administration as an effort or an attempt to stab off this investigation. Why are these things so important? I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why these things are important later. But first, let's go over the facts again. what we covering is the possibility of a conspiracy to affect directly or indirectly the outcome of the 2016 election. This is the United States of America. This is the greatest nation on earth, guys. No one is above the law. No man up in this nation is above the law. Our Constitution and our jurisprudence is based on rule of law. Rule of law stands. Period. This is what the founders envisioned when they ratified the Constitution. No one is above the law. Now, with all that said, you have the Trump and his associates, and those others in his administration currently under investigation by Robert Mueller. Donald Trump has participated in a deliberate act, outright attack, to somehow delegitimize Robert Mueller's, the special counsel Robert Mueller's current pending investigation as it pertains to conspiracy to affect the outcome of the 2016 elections. When I say this Donald Trump is currently, if those of you who do not know, those of you just tuning in, Donald Trump is participating in a most aggressive campaign to somehow eradicate this investigation. He's now calling for a second special counsel to investigate the special counsel who is investigating Donald Trump himself. This alone is absurdity. Right? Not only is he doing that, he has enlisted, or should I say, thrown a dog whistle to conservative media outlets, Fox News and others, as well as a list of other Republican congressmen on Capitol Hill who are now calling for investigation of the investigators. If this ain't the least most absurd thing we've ever heard, nothing is. Again, you have Fox News, Donald Trump, Fox News, and other Republican congressmen now calling for investigation upon the investigators. This is ridiculous. Countdown to impeachment, / trap the vote. I know guys talking about I know some of us wondering, why is this guy talking about votes? We still have a whole year from now. Now is the time to have this conversation. Ultimately, our goal, our mission here is to change the narrative. Approach the narrative, the conversation out here around these important things in an honest way. Ultimately change their minds. And maybe even change policy. And effectively change policy. This is why it's so important. Okay, so you have Donald Trump insisting upon outright attack, as I said before, to somehow delegitimize the Robert Mueller investigation. Currently, as we speak, while simultaneously Republican Senate and congressmen are set possibly this week to pass one of the most groundbreaking tax reform bills of our era, transferring over $1.5 trillion of America's wealth into the hands and pockets of billionaires, and the wealthiest corporations in this nation. This is important. Why? After the 2009 Great Recession, my friends, Wall Street, the economy within the last 2 years has been booming. Profits are record breaking. Corporate profits in this nation are record breaking. The economy, for some of us, we're going about our daily duties, our daily business every day on a 9 to 5, simply has not recognized this because we're simply going about the important things in our own life. However, no one's shaming success for having been successful. However, what we are saying is this: Wall Street, bankers and investors and major corporations doesn't need the financial relief like the working class, the middle class, and the poor. However, if this tax reform bill gets passed in the Senate and Congress this week, this will transfer over $1.5 trillion in wealth and your hard-earned money, tax paying payers' money, into the hands and pockets of millionaires, billionaires, and the wealthiest corporations in this nation. So it's an absolute that we cover the importance of the shenanigans coming out of the White House and the Donald Trump presidency as we speak. An outright attack. So, okay, earlier in the summer, let me start here. Robert Mueller, the investigator, investigating whether there was conspiracy to overthrow, whether directly or indirectly, the 2016 elections in Donald Trump's favor. Robert Mueller has realized that one of the staff members on his team investigating the Russian Trump possible conspiracy, he realized that one of his staff members, a prior FBI agent, when he was an FBI agent, before he was a part of the investigative team during the campaign of during the Hillary Donald Trump campaign of 2016, was found to have sent or communicated texts with a mistress, whereas holding a political bias against Donald Trump, his own personal political views. He was sharing this with his mistress. However, this was before the investigation of Donald Trump's and his associates even came about, was even thought of. Robert Mueller found out that this staff member potentially had a political bend against Donald Trump, fired him immediately back in July. However, you have Fox, as I said earlier, you have Fox News and Republicans on Capitol Hill now calling for an investigation to investigate the investigators. This is my friends. This is an effort to, as I said in the beginning, for Donald Trump, and maybe even compelled by Donald Trump. This is an effort to delegitimize the investigation into his possible felonies. This is important. Why? Donald Trump is the conservative figurehead of the Republican Party. If the tax reform is passed this week, before Christmas, this will possibly eradicate Medicaid and Medicare. Google what Medicaid and Medicare is. If you're poor, you're on Medicaid. Excuse me. If you're elderly, you're on Medicaid. If you're poor, you're on Medicare. It's just that this is the healthcare finances that funds the elderly and poor's medical expenses. If Congress passes this tax bill this week, they're looking to eradicate Medicaid and Medicare and transfer $1.5 trillion to the, as I said, I don't mean to be redundant, guys, to the hands and pockets of millionaires, billionaires, and wealthy corporations after possibly having. What my point is this: you have a president after having maybe stolen the election by theft, won the election by theft, have the audacity to then make an attempt to implement policy, my friends, in a way in which financially will set the nation's middle class, working class, and poor back immensely, while Wall Street and major corporations are already recording record profits between January 20th till this date. Over $5 trillion have been created on Wall Street. These are the major corporations in which the same major corporations that will ultimately get a tremendous tax break, over $1.5 trillion, while at the expense of Medicaid and Medicare. This is a big deal, guys. This is a big deal. Countdown to Impeachment / Trap the Vote. Not a damn soul will go to the White House, the Congress, or Senate, or even the Maryland state legislatures, the Pennsylvania legislature, the Chicago legislatures, the Georgia legislators, excuse me, the Illinois legislators, the Georgia legislators, the Louisiana legislators, the Alabama legislators, the Mississippi legislators. Not a damn soul should be going to these the halls, to these congressional halls, guys, unless, and of course, they have an agenda, a specified agenda based around enriching the possibility of the working class, the middle class, the poor, and entrepreneurs. If they even think that, especially if, in fact, they enrich the pockets of the already wealthy. This is why this is why trap the vote is so important, guys. Now, we're going to cover the White House, the nation, everything in between. Before I get to Omarosa Manigault, people ask me, Doug, man, why you don't cover the music? I tell them, I'm a rap guy's dream. Blue trial with the feds. Had 30 to life with the feds. Got it on appeal, came home, made it back. I ain't ratted on nothing. I ain't told on nothing. I'm a rap guy's dream. That's why I don't cover the music. It baffles me to see these guys. You have guys playing rapper and spectator. How you gonna spectate the game and what you playing in? It's just cheap to me. I leave it to these dudes. That's why I don't cover the music. I'm a rap guy's dream, guys. Now, with all that said, on to Omarosa Manigault. This is important, guys. It's a lot of news to cover. I told you I wouldn't leave you. I wouldn't send you on into the weekend without. You have Omarosa Manigault having been extracted from the White House after proliferating curse words, violent behavior, nasty demeanor, and outright confrontation with John Kelly, the president's chief of staff. Apparently, she wasn't getting the access, the appropriate access she thought she should be getting directly to the president. She had a problem with this, but more importantly, by all reported stories on Omarosa Manigault, she wasn't really bringing much to the table. Now, without further ado, after having been extracted from the White House, her black card delisted, her hard card delisted from access to the White House. She's now on a morning TV shows, gearing up for a tell-all. This is why this is important. Here's why this is important. Not only did she fail to go to the White, not only did she fail to go to the White House and establish a certain type of liaison between her and the black community, the same black community in which she is from, the same black community. Now, after having been kicked out of the White House, she's now asking, or she's now claiming that she was hurt and harmed while working in the White House by a lack of diversity. Y'all ain't hear me, don't, huh? While in the White House, she failed to establish any type of liaison, any type of policy, there's no reports out there of any type of her making headways with implementing any type of policy that affects the lives in a good way of the working, poor, middle class, and everyday people. Now, on top of that, not only that, did she not bring anything to the table, she was an outright asshole. There were wide-ranging reports of Omarosa Manigault being an outright asshole to the everyday staff amongst the Congress halls and the White House, particularly African American men and women. She would go out her way to create roadblocks, to create frustrations, or impede the roles of anyone African American getting to a leadership position within the White House. This is wide ranging, widely known fact. guys. So after having been abstracted and kicked from the house, kicked from the White House, I was ready to say kicked from the house because I got the mindset of talking about a nigga. But she was removed and forced to resign from the White House. Now she's on a morning show, all of the morning shows, gearing up to do a tell-all under the premise that, or giving this appearance that she was somehow harmed and belittled by the lack of diversity in the White House. Everybody knows that there's maybe 5 non-white major stakeholders amongst the Trump administration. 2 of them was black. Omarosa Manigault and 1 other. Now, however, this is why it's important that we cover these matters and the conversation is approached in an honest manner. There were African American, hard-working, polished, charismatic, intelligent, committed, loyal, as well as talented women throughout this nation who would have shattered all kind of precedent by even having the opportunity to serve their citizens in the White House. Omarosa Manigault did the exact opposite, and then compounded that with making it harder for African Americans while in the White House. And now she's going to attempt to promote a tell-all book to capitalize on the same disenfranchisement that she failed to assist. This is ridiculous. There's no way in the world we can even allow for this. Now, of course, I don't mean you should stop your daily lives. We should stop our daily lives to concern ourselves over Omarosa Manigault. But we must know these things. We must weaponize this information. Do not, I repeat, do not buy Omarosa Manigault's tell-all. Do not promote her merchandise. Under no circumstance, people. This is a must. Enough is enough. Now, with all that said, countdown to impeachment, /trap the vote. There's so much more to be covered. We're going to cover the White House, the nation, and everything in between. Like, subscribe, comment to the YouTube channel.